Hi. Now we're going to talk about factoring, or I call it reverse foiling. So if you remember foiling, first, outer, inner, last, we're taking it and putting it back in that form. So we're going to start with this one. This is your firsts. They go here. So you're going to basically split up. You're finding what times what equals this. So when they're just x squareds, those are easy to split. You just say x and x. So that splits up. Now your lasts are going to split up from the last one. So we have to know what the factors of 6 are. So what you do is you do a factor stack. You always start with 1 in the number, 1 and 6. Does 2 go into 6? It does. It goes in 3 times. There's nothing between them. Those are the factors of 6. If you have a plus and a plus, so if you have a plus and a plus, you're going to have a plus and a plus. Because there's no minuses to deal with. So we are adding, because we got 2 pluses, so we're going to add. So which of these combos add to 7? 1 and 6 add to 7. So we're going to put a 1 and a 6. Now this is where you perform CPR. You do a nose, mouth check. The combination of the nose and the mouth should equal the middle. That was our outer inner. That was our nose and mouth. So 1x plus 6x equals 7x. We're good. That one's factored. That's all it is to it. We'll do this one. Okay, this one has a minus and a plus. Because you have a minus, something has to be minus. You're going to at least have 1. But because this is a plus, and last is something times something, in order to have a minus, but it has to have an answer of a plus, you're going to need 2 minuses. So if you have a minus in the front and then a plus, you're going to have 2 minuses. Always. So it's like if you can learn that or understand how that works, it really helps. It really makes life a little easier. So again, first we're going to split up our y's. Y, y. We figured out, because we looked at it before we started, that we need 2 minuses. So because we have 2 minuses and you're combining in the middle, remember that middle is an adding. So we need to add to get to the middle value. So we got to factor out 9. So we're going to make a factor stack. 1 and 9. 2 does not go into 9. 3 goes into 9 3 times. We're done. That's our factor stack. So what adds up to equal 10 from those numbers? 1 and 9. We put a 1 and we put a 9. And then we do CPR to check. Minus 1 minus 9 is minus 10. We're good. Let's do a CPR. Okay? Go to the next one. Again, and I was really nice. I didn't give you any large numbered ones. We can do a set of those later in video on that, just to show how that goes. They're not going to be too wicked on you. They just want to know that you know how to do this a little bit. So first, we split up our x's. We have a 9, so we need to factor stack it. So we have 1 and 9, 3 and 3. Now, because we have a minus here, I actually did this the same, but that's okay. Because we have a minus here and a plus here, again, we're going to have 2 minuses. So what adds up out of this group to equal 6? This time, 3 and 3 add up. So even though we still had the same, kind of the same beginnings, and we had the same endings, because our middles were different, our factors are different. But we do a CPR check. Minus 3 is minus 6. We're golden. Okay, we'll go down to this one. Again, firsts, x and x. Now, if you have a minus here, whenever there, it doesn't matter what's up here, this can be a plus up here. When there is a minus here, You always have a plus and a minus. So basically, if you have two minuses, or if you have a plus and a minus, so if the minus is here in the second one, you're gonna have a plus and a minus somewhere. They're both the same. Doesn't really matter. This is where you'll have to play a little guessing game. So we're gonna have a plus and a minus because we figured that out because there is a minus here. So we've split up our x's. We need to factor stack our 18. So we have 1 and 18. 2 goes into it 9 times. 3 goes into it 6 times. 4 and 5 do not, so we're good. That's our factor stack. So you build it from 1 and you work your way up. Now, because we have a plus and a minus, we're going to find the difference. Because a plus and a minus is a negative, and we're going to find the difference. So we need to know which of these numbers has a difference of 3. So 3 and 6 have a difference of 3. But we need a negative 3. So the 6 must be bigger than the 3. Because we need the negative to be bigger than the positive. So now we do, this is the really important CPR because you've got pluses and minuses and that gets really confusing. When you're doing both minuses or both pluses, you're adding. That's easy. When you're subtracting and you have a plus and a minus, you really need to think about it. So you check your CPR. Minus 6 plus 3 is a minus 3. Then we're good. So understanding this up here is really helpfully key. If you don't, you do a lot of guess and check. You try it, then you try another one. I didn't even know this existed till about a year ago. I had never made that connection to those symbols. I just guessed and checked. I got really good at it, so I kind of knew it, but I didn't make the connection. And I don't know, one day I was just looking at it and I realized that though it's different than the way I teach you integers, it's different than the integers. It's its own little rule. It does have a specific rule, and it makes life a lot easier if you know it. So here, again, because we have a minus here, doesn't matter if there's what else there is, if there is a minus here anywhere, you have a plus and a minus. You can even just do that by looking. Minus here, plus and a minus. Pluses, pluses, if there's a plus here and a minus here, then it's both minuses. So that's kind of the difference. So we split up our x's. Because we're doing a plus and a minus, we know we're going to find the difference, but we must factor stack 70. That's going to be a pretty big factor stack. And because your difference is only a 3, it's going to be pretty high up in the factor stack too. But you should still factor stack. 1 and 70, half of 70 is 35, so 2 and 35. Does 3 go into 70? Well, we can check that with our divisibility rules by saying 7 plus 0 is 7. Nope, 3 does not go in. 4 does not go in. 70 is not divisible by 4. 5 does. 5 goes into 7 2 times, leaving me 20. 5 goes into 20 4 times, so we have 2 and 24. Now we're only dealing with the numbers between 2 and 24. Because this was not divisible by 3, there's no way it's divisible by 6, given the divisibility rules. 7, it is divisible by 7. We can see that. That's 7 times 10. And you go, whoa, 7, 10, that's a difference of 3. I'm good. So you go, I'm good, but I need plus 3. So the one that needs to be biggest is the one that needs to be plus is the 10, because it has to be biggest when you find the difference. And this is 7. We do a CPR check. 10x, take away 7x is 3x. We're good to go. Now this one, again, let's check it. So we split up our x's. We have 2 pluses. We can put 2 pluses. And we do our factor stack of 1 and 2. That's it. That's the whole factor stack. Not very big. If I do a CPR, so I have to put a 1 or 2, that's my only choices. Let's check this. Is 1 plus 2 5? No. If it doesn't come out, and they gave you 1, there's no way. They only gave you 2 choices. If you try all the options and it does come out, that's called a prime. It's prime. It does not work. Now, there is a way to make this one work. you can use what's called the quadratic formula. I don't usually even teach quadratic formula or quadratic equation. You can use what's called the quadratic equation. There's an equation you use, and you plug in the numbers you're given, and you go through this large amount of algebra,